Hi, everybody. It's me again, and Theresa this time. We're doing Zoom, and I still have my little Sebastian hair. I haven't gotten to the hairdresser yet. We suck at Facebook Live. We tried, and I had it even on here, and it said I invited you and I approved you, and so I don't know. So we'll find a 5 or a 12-year-old to teach us how to do that, because we do need to know how to do it.
My college daughter will be home in a few weeks, then
Oh, okay. Well, she can teach us. Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good. So what are you doing, my dear?
Oh, just doing wedding planning all day.
So everybody, Teresa's daughter's getting married. Which daughter? To give us the whole shebang on the whole wedding, or at least a little shebang.
Oldest daughter. I already have a son who's married, has 2 babies, and then this is my middle child, 25-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
And it's in 25 days, so getting
Getting
close.
close.
Oh, Kitty wants to join. Okay.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, not stressful, but a lot of detail stuff that's just gotta be handled in the next couple of weeks. So
Last minute.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Good. Husband's good. Oh, look at the kitty. What's the kitty's name?
That's Sienna.
Oh, look at her. Hi,
like
Sienna.
Lay down. Yeah, her sister died when we moved to this house, and she literally has not left my side since then.
Oh, that's so sweet. That's sweet.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I guess we probably should talk about.
We should probably talk about something.
Whole 30 stuff, and the fact that we've got, like, I don't even know how many members now. 35.
Oh, is it up to 35?
Let me look. I'll tell you exactly how many. This is this is off the cuff, so yeah. 33.
3,300. Okay, that's what I thought.
3,300.
When I was talking to somebody about a giveaway yesterday, I checked. So yeah.
Which reminds me, we got to talk about what our giveaway is this week, because I don't really know. I have plenty here to give away, or we can do one of the other things that we discussed, but we'll do that in the back.
Okay. I've got some stuff you can give away too.
Do you? Okay. Well, but you're going next week, right?
Yeah, but I already have something else lined up special.
Oh, that's right. That special Michelle thing, right?
Yes.
Nice. Okay. So fancy. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll figure out my giveaway anyway. So tell us about your Whole30 journey, how you found Whole30. And I'll just let you rip from there, because I know you know how.
Sure. Yes. So I know I kind of feel like I'm on repeat, because I've done like Whole30 lives and things like that. Right. I've told the story a million times, but for those of you who may not have ever heard, so it kind of started with my daughter when she was 9 years old, not the one getting married, but the youngest baby, who is 21 now, junior in college. But when she was 9, she had just the worst year of obsessive compulsive disorder and anxiety, and just cried every day and really was paralyzed with fear. And she was in counseling, and after a year they wanted to put her on Prozac because she wasn't getting any better, and it was just a horrible time in her life. And I didn't want to put her on Prozac because I just felt like that was a really strong drug for a 9-year-old. And this is all on my website if you guys want to go on my website and read it. But I went to a functional medicine doctor, and that was pretty much my first experience with a functional medicine doctor. And he asked me very casually, like, well, has anyone checked her for gluten intolerance? And, back then, who knew what that was?
Right.
So, because she's 21, that was not, she was 9. Right. And it was a simple blood test, and I think it's your IgG. It's supposed to be under 10, and hers was 35. Which meant her body wasn't processing gluten properly, and therefore her brain was in overdrive.
Wow.
And it definitely, if you have a gluten intolerance, I've learned after doing many years of research, you definitely can have anxiety and a lot of psychological issues that you might never suspect come from wheat. So we literally took her off gluten, and back then that meant I made my own bread, because you didn't go to the grocery store and buy gluten-free crackers. And honest to God, in 2 weeks, all of her symptoms were gone.
Isn't that just crazy?
It was crazy. to the point where her teachers asked what we put her on because her behavior changed. I mean, she was in the principal's office constantly crying. Like, she just wanted to go home every day. It was awful. So the drastic change in her, and if you saw her today, like, she literally is, in the honors college. She is a leader. She's so confident. She's a strong woman. It's crazy. And so she was gluten-free since she was 9. Then the rest of us got tested, and mine was at 12. So not horrible.
Yeah.
But, my mom died of stomach cancer at a very young age.
Oh.
She always had stomach issues. Sorry, I got something in my lip gloss. And so, sometimes you just wonder, like.
Right. I'd be putting those two things together.
Yeah, if a lot of her health issues had to do with her gluten, because of course we're Italian. So what do we eat? Pasta, bread, carbaluzza. So anyway, I went kind of gluten-free. I tried to be supportive of her, but I didn't see like a cause and effect right away with me. And I was like, I'm not that high. So it wasn't until my autoimmune issues really kicked in. My mom died, as I said. I took care of her the last 2 years of her life, and it was horrible.
Sure.
Really hard. Like, she died in my arms at my house. She didn't want to go into the hospital, so it was hospice and me. So it was very stressful. And as everyone knows, when you have a stressful situation, oftentimes you have a flare up after you push through that stressful situation. So after that, my autoimmune stuff went into overdrive. I have vitiligo all over my body. I have psoriasis. I had joint pain, depression. And of course, when you live in chronic pain, it makes you more depressed. And anyway, so I went to the best rheumatologist there were, and none of my blood work comes back with any elevated markers, like no lupus, no nothing. Everything comes back normal, which is very frustrating because then, you feel crazy. And so when I first heard about Whole30, I was just out of sheer desperation. And the main thing was I had never given up sugar, and I definitely was a sugar addict. I have a huge sweet tooth. I love to bake. That speaks love to me, like baking and cookies and homemade treats speak love to me, because that's kind of what my love language was growing up with my mom. And so but this little voice inside of my head kept saying, but what if you do this and your joint pain goes away? And I was petrified when I did it the first time, petrified. But I did, and I'm not going to lie, like, the withdrawal was horrible. I had ice on my head for 4 days. Like, that's how bad my detox was. It was just like, ugh.
Wow.
But after that, it was rainbows and unicorns. And I'm not joking. I felt unbelievable. Not just my body, but my mind, clarity. I wasn't having to take a nap every day.
Right.
I finally could work out a little bit, which, that's that cycle. It's like, if you're in pain, you can't work out. It just, for me anyway, it's just such a mood booster.
Right.
So all cylinders started firing, and I did not do a proper reintroduction the first time. I did try to introduce dairy right away because that was what I missed the most. I was a Starbucks addict, and I missed my latte. Drove to Starbucks, chugged a latte, and literally the room started spinning and I threw up. Like, violent reaction.
Wow.
And so I thought that was just a coincidence. Tried it again the next
Want
day.
that damn latte.
I really wanted my latte. Same thing, horrible stomach pains. So basically from that moment on, I was dairy-free and cow's milk-free. I always say dairy-free, but I can do goat cheese and I can do sheep cheese like manchega. But I tinkered with that later. So from right then and there it was, and I never reintroduced white sugar. So I did go back to baking because I love to bake, but I make paleo treats. That's what I do. Coconut sugar or maple syrup to sweeten. So yeah, so then I've done it. I don't like to brag about how many times I've done it because I don't think that's a merit badge, but we kind of got into the routine of doing one every January. But I definitely felt convicted after last year that I'm not doing another one for quite a while because I know my issues and I don't need to do it again.
Right.
It's just, it's like, January detox. And I'm not saying I won't do a January no alcohol or something like that. Right. But I don't need to do another Whole30. So
Well, I also think, and obviously, let's just talk about this because we're talking a lot about it in the group where we're telling people we don't want to know how many rounds you've had because there are people that have done 10, 12 rounds. I am one of those people. Because back in 2010, we didn't have the Food Freedom book and we didn't have the reintroduction education that we have now. Like if you're doing your first Whole30 now, there's no reason for you to have to do a second one unless of course you just have really horrible medical symptoms and you want to just keep going.
Right.
But you know, when I first did it, I mean, the first 3 times I did it, I'm sure I face planted because I didn't really know any better.
Right.
You know, so ignorance.
I do think sometimes I don't want to like discount the fact that sometimes it, like for my husband, it took him 3 times to make the connection. Like
Right.
It just did, you know, like
Right.
he would just go back to his bad habits. He didn't really do a proper reintroduction. He loves sandwiches and pizza and, you know, he's 57 and eats like he's in college. But you know, after 3 times, finally it clicked emotionally for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I feel like now he's just in a better space emotionally. He knows if it's
excuse me.
Bless you. He knows if he's emotionally eating or not. So for some people, it does take 3 times to emotionally get the connection. But I just really feel strongly that we have to stop this diet mentality. It's not a diet. You're figuring out your food intolerances and moving on.
Right.
But you
and
know,
you do have coaches now that can help you get to food freedom quicker. You know, back when we were doing it, you know, and I've done all the January Whole30s too, more in commiseration with my clients and whatnot. Not because I don't know what my issues are. I've probably known what my issues are for 5 or 6 years, but you know, it did take me a while to convince myself, like you said, but I really, really like this. So let me try it again. And let me try it again. And let me try it again. And then, you know, you finally go, okay, I really can't do that. But in this day and age, there's no reason that you can't reach out and just do a proper reintroduction, and then just go on to like paleo, food freedom, or, you know, whatever the thing is. So I just wanted to say that because we've had a couple, you know, I've been correcting people. Correcting's not the right word today in the group. And I just want everybody to understand we're not mad because you've done a bunch. We just want to help the new people see it for what it is now, as opposed to maybe what it was 15 years ago when we all did a few rounds and whatnot. So anyway.
Yeah, like Healthy Little Peach, Ashley McCreary she took over the Whole30 recipes last week. And, you know, on her thing, it says she's done 17 rounds, but she did them consecutively to heal herself of polycystic ovarian syndrome. That's very different than doing it, going off, doing it, going off. Like, that's a diet. That's yo-yo dieting. So there's a huge difference between those 2 things. And I do think that if you know, it's just real life that sooner or later, I mean, I would hope that you would want to be able to go out to a restaurant and not badger the waiter. Is there sugar in this? Is this marinade? Like, that's just real life. So things like that are going to creep in. I do love going out to dinner. We're empty nesters. I enjoy my life. I enjoy my wine. I do drink clean wine though now, and that's a topic for another day.
Hey.
Yeah, I'll post my link below. But no, honestly, I will talk about that for 1 second, just because.
No, you should.
Yeah, when I tried to drink wine, the old wine that I used to drink, I got deathly ill and a headache and felt just awful. And I love wine. And then a friend of mine gave me 2 bottles when we moved into this house. We just downsized and moved. Of this clean crafted wine, and I drank it and felt no adverse effects. And I'm like, what is this? Where do you get it?
Right.
And then I learned more about the company, and just like right before I went away on vacation, I decided to become a consultant for them because I feel so passionately about this.
Sure.
So they don't add sugar. They don't add, you know, the sulfate. Every bottle's lab tested. So it's, you know, a level of, for people like me and other people who have joint pain and headaches and ill effects from sulfites, they keep their sulfites under a certain degree.
Yeah. I can't drink it. You know, I can't drink wine because of my asthma. So I'm looking forward to trying it. Yeah.
Yes. When you come, we will do a little.
We'll drink wine.
Yeah. So anyway, so no, I hope I have my first tasting this Sunday with a group of ladies. So I'm super excited to see, how it affects people. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fun. But you do, you need to find, not that you should recreate things that you shouldn't have, but you also need to live your life. And, I mean, food is entertainment to a certain extent, but if you can find things that fit into your food freedom, then do that. We don't want you to be, Whole30 all the time, 365. It's not feasible, but we want you to make conscious decisions on what's worth it and what's not.
Yeah, and drinking crappy wine is just not worth it anymore.
It's not worth it. No, it hurts.
It's like having a store-bought cookie. Like, blah. Like, to me, that's just no. If I make something, and I just do love to bake, and I always will. If I want to, I have grandkids now too, but I want to give them a healthy treat. And whenever they come over, that's the first thing the little one says is, tweet. She knows grandma gives her treats, and I want to be able to give her a healthy treat. So I'm going to continue to bake. I just had to find a healthier way to do it.
Got it. All right. So we know you have a wedding coming up, and now we know that you've got a wine tasting night coming up. What else do you have? You're always doing something. That's why I'm just going to segue right into that, because you're always doing something.
Well, yeah, I did teach at Williams-Sonoma January for 5 weeks in a row, and that was fun, but it definitely was a lot of work and just about killed me. Hopefully I'll do that again in September. Probably not every week, because it was a lot. It was
That's really a lot. Yeah.
And I just, I have to manage my stress, as I talk about a lot, because my autoimmune stuff gets, flared up, and I'm almost waiting for it to happen after the wedding, because I saw my rheumatologist last week, and she said, just because it's good stress doesn't mean it's not stress. And you just don't think about that, but when you're preoccupied and you have a lot on your plate, even though it's happy and my daughter and I get along great, it's just that constant mind, pressure. And you're always on to get stuff done.
Right.
So I was going to teach in Williams-Sonoma in May. They invited me back, and I just decided no. I need to just take a breath after the wedding.
Right.
We're actually putting a pool in our backyard.
Oh, cool.
So that's going to break ground hopefully in the next 2 weeks. And I know that's just going to be, whenever you do any
It'll be a mess.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of a lot of headaches probably. They'll probably find dead bodies in the backyard, or, something.
Right.
Never a dull moment.
An endangered species.
Exactly, right. I mean, well, that's a whole other story. I mean, it takes it took me 6 months to get the permit. Like, it's so strict up here to put a pool in. It's crazy. It's like putting a shopping mall in your backyard. But I do have a Facebook group coming up in May. So that'll be my project for May.
Good.
And I'm trying to think of what I can talk about that's not super secret.
You got any takeovers going that aren't secret?
No, I said no to everyone lately.
Did you? No, that's good. That's good.
It's just not, I promised my husband after January that I would take a break and take no clients and do nothing for the month of February. And that's kind of bled into March. And I think until after the wedding, I've deferred everything. So yeah, I think I have a True Fair. I have a couple takeovers coming up in Zupanoma, all those fun brands. But yeah, so that's that. And then, of course, I'll do September, Whole30, which, September and January are my big 2 months. Right. I really just want to enjoy my grandkids this summer.
I don't blame you. Yeah.
School is done, and just kind of be a grandmom. They live right down the hill. And yeah, just last summer was crazy because we moved. That was very stressful. I had a huge flare after that. And then September Whole30 happened, and my head was spinning. And then my daughter got engaged.
Oh, so it's just been nonstop.
Yeah, it's been nonstop. So I think I need a little break. My husband would like me to take a little break.
Right.
We're traveling. I'm going to go visit the new Primal in June.
That's right. Charleston.
Charleston.
I know. I really want to get there.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that. I love everyone at the new Primal.
They're sweet.
So yeah, my husband's speaking down at somewhere in Kewah. So we're gonna pit stop at the new Primal. I'm sure I'll do a live story from there. That'll be great to see them. And yeah, once the wedding's over, then I'm working on an ebook with my graphic designer.
Okay.
So we're going to have a lot of photography sessions. Hopefully that will all come together in May. So details to follow on that.
Nice.
Something I've been working on since I started this whole crazy thing, but you know, it's hard finding time to do these little side projects.
You don't know this because it hasn't been published yet, but I just did a little blog post on comparison is the thief of joy, and I used you. I'm like, my friend Theresa makes all these beautiful recipes.
Oh my gosh.
And I would love to do that, but that's not my life. You know what I mean? So I was like,
I don't make any recipes.
No, but I mean, your kitchen's gorgeous and your recipes are beautiful and like if we put a picture of your dinner next to my dinner always looks like dog food. Compliant dog food, but dog food. But anyway, so you guest spotted in one of my blog posts.
Where is this coming out? On your website?
Yeah, as soon as it's just a short little thing, but I was just cracking myself up, you know.
And I compare myself to, everybody else in the world. So
I know.
It's just, that's what my husband always says. Like, this is supposed to be fun, and
it is
a third career for me. I'm not going to be a food blogger, and I'm not a recipe developer, so that's just not going to ever happen, and that's fine.
Right. I had to tell myself to bring it down a notch yesterday because our weekend did not go as planned. And I thought, okay, I'm going to have this time to work on this because I'd picked up some new clients and I really wanted to have time with them. And finally I was like, okay, princess, slow your roll. It'll happen. If it doesn't happen, it's not the end of the world, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I feel you on that. Oh, and we're going to the summit too. We can't forget about Summit.
Yes.
That's in August.
I'm very excited about that.
We'll be live streaming everything, I'm sure, from there, if we can figure out how to live stream.
Yeah, we're going to figure it out by then. I actually started watching a YouTube video while I was waiting for you to invite me.
Yeah, so. I started watching it too, and I was like, all right, hurry it up, guy. Hurry it up. Come on.
I know.
Yeah.
Was it Sean Connell?
I don't know.
Yeah, so anyway, but yeah, excited about the new group and all of the people that are in it. And we're thankful that you guys are going on this journey with us.
Yeah, so, super nice people. I mean, and very knowledgeable people too. If you go back when we first started and you see what people do for a living, holy cow. I mean, we've got some dynamic people in this group. It's really interesting. So
yeah, we should start interviewing.
We should probably do that again since we've got 3,000 now instead of 900. I might just do that.
Yeah.
Throw that up there and say, hey, tell me again what you do and where you're at.
Yeah, or if anybody has a health specialty that
oh yeah.
Maybe there's a functional medicine doctor or integrative medicine person that can speak to some of the issues.
Yeah, Meg's one of my clients, and she's going through all that right now. So, but she pops in there. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
She pops in there with some stuff.
We definitely need to get some hormone people. I'll talk to my 2 doctors, and we need to get some hormone help.
Yeah. And if I could ever get my interview to come up off of a Zoom, we'd have a thyroid interview.
We'll find it.
I found it. I just can't get it to go. Okay. I hate technology. It's Mercury's retrograde. I'm actually making t-shirts that say, is Mercury retrograde? Because I just think it's hysterical to walk around with the t-shirt that says, is Mercury retrograde?
I don't even know what that means. You and Jacob, I don't even know.
Oh my God. Okay. So Mercury, it's an astrology thing.
Yeah.
But quite literally, when Mercury goes retrograde, like if you're signing contracts or something always goes wrong, or technology, the bottom falls out of everything. Gotcha. And
it's not
the day of it is when all this stuff started to happen, and I just started laughing. I'm like, oh God, Mercury's retrograde. Not that I'm like big into astrology, but it gives me a good excuse,
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm gonna make t-shirts that say that.
I just think it's being 55, but
it might be,
but you're not even there yet.
I'm not there yet, but I'm telling you, I'm feeling 60 this week with this damn Zoom. Yeah. Not even kidding. But anyway. All right. Well, anything else? We're just chit-chatting. So anything else we should say?
No, I don't think so.
That's all right. We're both tired. I want to go eat.
I already ate. My husband's flying back from Buffalo, and I like eating early, so I already ate dinner at 5.
I normally do eat early, but I had 2 calls, and I actually have a client call after this, so I'm going to get this done, and then I'm just going to eat at 8 o'clock and go right to bed and do all the things that I tell everybody not to do.
All right.
All right, darling. Love you.
Talking to you.
All right.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
And meeting.
And
yeah, right. Recording. Yes, I want to.
You have to stop it, right?
Wait.
We're gonna end it now, right?